Atlanta, you got the line.
Hey, Zach. How's it going, man? This is D-Tape 46. Yeah, I probably haven't commented in a while. You may not recognize out of all the other comments you get. I wanted to thank you for bringing in Truthiracy. He's probably one of the people that has been a little more influential for me and has been probably the long stayer out of the probably last 10 years on YouTube of really enlightening people and dropping some real symbolic information and real Masonic and Hegelian dialectic type stuff. So I definitely wanted to, I'm glad to see that you guys are linked up together and that, you know, we can clearly see that you get, it's pretty obvious y'all two ain't the agents, you know, because I see you guys dealing with a lot more negativity than you have supporters, and it's good to see y'all rally together. I think that's a really good sign that when you see that if a YouTuber is willing to work with someone like yourself, I think it really shows where they're coming from and what their real purpose is.
I appreciate you saying that. And just for people who don't know, I did have people write to me this week that I'm obviously a shill for having him on. And you guys, I'm not a shill. I don't know him at all in person. We've never met. Today was the first time we've really ever even communicated, and you got to witness that in real time. I just knew that he was coming out with a book, and I've always appreciated his work just like you do, and I wanted to help him out. And this is as organic as it gets. So. North Dakota, you got the line.
Hey, Zach, it's Nace, a co-host with Phoenix Rising on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm really bummed out that I missed Truthiracy 3. I found him like 3 months ago with his video about Prince, and I've been listening to him pretty consistently since.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
The wicked ones obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
Condition orange. Condition orange. Situation Delta in effect. Please enter your agent number now, followed by the hash key.
We have to create culture. Don't watch TV. Don't read magazines. Don't even listen to NPR.
Time comes when silence is betrayal.
Think for yourself. Question authority.
This code has been compromised.
Hey, Truth Seekers, thanks for tuning in. It is Wednesday, June 21st, 2017. The Summer Solstice is underway. Depending on what your source is, it'll tell you the solstice began yesterday, June 20th, or today, June 21st for the Northern Hemisphere. In the headlines, 2 propaganda-based stories that are direct tributes to the solstice, which no one would ever catch unless they're aware of the language of Gematria. In tonight's program, we're going to decode the news as we always do. We'll also be having Truthiracy 3, a.k.a. Christopher Lord, join us. Today, his book released. He's selling it on Amazon. He has a ebook version, digital version. He also has a paperback version. If you go to Amazon.com and you search Christopher Lord, his book should pop right up. He even has a $1 version, just the introductory chapter if you want to get your feet wet. Maybe you don't have a lot of money to spend. I think that was a good idea on his part. So he'll be joining us later this show. He just sent me a message a little bit ago saying he was showering and shaving to be ready for the show, and I said, "Hey man, it's only a radio show." I think he thought we were going to be doing a little visual display here, but he'll be with us very soon. So, as I speak that, I think we're getting Christopher Lord on the line here. I'm going to connect him right now, assuming he's ready. I'm excited to talk about his book. Again, released today on Amazon.com. You want to search for Christopher Lord. Christopher, are you there? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, there you are. What's up?
Thank you. Hey, just starting to promote the show and that you're going to be here in your book. Glad to have you on board. Everyone, this is the man that you probably know as Truthiracy 3 from his YouTube channel. Very great channel, one of the channels that inspired me to do my work. And it's a joy to have you on the show and be promoting your book. I'm also finishing a book, so you releasing yours inspires me. So I'm going to give you the floor if you just want to take it away and share with us what the book's about and what inspires you. I'll ask questions as they come up.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for having me on, by the way. Appreciate it very much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, boy, writing a book is a lot of hard work, I can tell you that, as I'm sure you found out now.
Yes, indeed.
It's endless. But I finally got it done. I had started my first book, which was the symbolism of the bull god of the Bible, the Torah. And I ended up going about halfway, and I ended up stopping and writing this book instead. And I plan on releasing that book, since it is the Bible, by meaning two. That's my second book. So that will be coming probably this next month as soon as I can finish writing that book.
Awesome.
But yeah, so Behind the Emerald Door of Oz, and I can't believe my first book is actually about, the Wizard of Oz or Oz, but it also incorporates, everything in the matrix around us, including the film The Matrix and the Bible, the Torah, politics, games, our birthdays, everything that's in our reality. I basically decode and give people insight into how they can basically, find the doorways and the pathways that lead to each other and find a common ground to understand, everything around us. When most people kind of run into dead ends and, they're told so many lies and stuff, they just really can't figure things out. So I spent the last decade, trying to figure the Matrix out and figure everything out from 9/11 to the Bible to, everything around us. So countless hours a day, spending time researching. And, you produce a lot of videos too, and you do a lot of research that, people don't understand how much work goes into just the research alone, so.
Right.
But, I'm real excited. Today's the Summer Solstice. I waited over a month to release my book. When I found out kind of the importance of that date, and what it has to do with the Wizard of Oz and Judy Garland, who died 47 years ago at the age of 47, and then to find out that 47 is, the wisdom of the Wizard of Oz when the Scarecrow gets his brain. It's as the universe speaks to us in numbers. Everything is made of numbers. So our language is numbers, and that's what Gematria is all about. The earth measure of the world around us. And
absolutely.
Like I said, I kind of held back a lot on my Gematria. If you look at my old videos, you'll see it's listed up there as one of the, symbolism, Gematria, this kind of thing. But really, when I started seeing your channel and you were just covering it so much and so in depth, I'm like, perfect. I can focus on other areas and kind of let you do your thing, which you've done a great job. And I, commend you. Definitely done a great job on your channel.
Thank you.
Certainly. So today my book was released. June 21st, Summer Solstice. Judy Garland was found dead on June 22nd, but for all we know, she was killed or died on, the actual summer solstice of June 21st.
Right.
And if you read my book, it goes a lot more in depth about the number 47. I just uploaded a video, 47, The Wisdom of 47, which is 47 minutes long and 47 seconds.
Perfect.
And I just kind of decoded 47, through the some gematria and etymology and symbolism and, Freemasonry, everything, the Bible, and all sorts of different ways to really kind of bring some different insight into that number. Of course, we know about, the 47 Society and 47 degrees and that type of thing. So the number's been out there for quite a while. But for some reason here recently, the number has really become important. And I didn't realize how important it was until I started doing this book and, and really realized how important it is. And then, of course, the avalanche of 47s that has just been coming our way from 47 meters down and, Hitman 47 and this type of thing. It's pretty crazy.
It is.
So, yeah. And then I saw, you did some stuff on 47 recently too. So and other people, and so it's kind of, the universe is really pushing that number right now for some reason.
Well, I got to tell you that was the number that I just noticed long before I had an understanding of who was behind, the scripting of our reality. I just noticed time and time again the news media putting the number 47 in front of me, and I looked at that number for years before I finally found Gematria. And I'm excited to read your book because I know you're going to dig up a lot of things I've overlooked. And do you want to share anything from the book? Maybe one juicy fact about 47 or?
Well, I don't think it's just one thing. I think I really revealed even more about the number 47 in this video I just released. Some things were known, and I've took the previously known 47 information and kind of went 47 times deeper into it. The numbers themselves, even Freemasonry, how people have known the number 47 related to the 47 degrees of the isosceles triangle, blah, blah, blah. But I even, decoded it further with the symbol of Freemasonry itself being the number 47, not just 47 degrees. But you're looking at the square, which of course the square is 4, and the G in the center. So that's the 7, as we know. And so 47 is kind of really the fundamental aspect of the Masonic symbol itself. And then, of course, if you watch my video, you'll see more Freemasonry 47 references as well.
Perfect. Yeah, and the compass that's above the G is also set at a 47-degree angle, just like the tropics.
Yeah. And then pole star, of course, is Gematria 47, like you pointed out, and I have in my video as well. So
yes, sir.
It's you started opening that can of worms, boy. Be careful.
Absolutely.
So the book, really goes in, and I decode the meaning of The Wizard of Oz. There's been other people that have attempted to make the videos, and pretty much they kind of repeat the same information of the previous videos, that are out there. So you'll pretty much watch 147 video, you've seen them all, or a video about The Wizard of Oz, you've seen them all. But I kind of really broke it down and explained what the movie is really about, the characters involved, and not only in the story itself, but also in real life, as we saw with Judy Garland. The importance of June 21st. I had no idea that, the video, for example, Return to Oz, was released on the summer solstice of June 21st in 1985.
Huh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, little facts like that I really wasn't aware of either. So, there's a little bit more importance to the summer solstice, Judy Garland dying on this date, the number 47, and me writing this book, it was kind of really strange, that all that kind of came together. Like I said, I had no idea before I even started the book. I was going to explain it already, at certain things. And then as I get into really deep, writing the book and stuff, I find more things that just prove that I'm right 100% about what I was, initially talking about or whatever. And I came to say it's a story of Osiris and Isis and this type of thing. And then you watch The Wizard of Oz, and of course, the wizard Marvel, states specifically that, it's from Osiris and Isis. And, when I went to go there, I didn't know it said that even there in there, and the 47, of course, and that type of thing. So it's, like I said, the universe speaks to us. It's kind of weird. I've always seen numbers, I remember 23, I think, was the first one that I started with. When somebody told me that, I was like, oh, when the first person said that to me, oh, shut up, you've been watching too many movies. Jesus, right. Next thing you know, I'm sitting there seeing 23 everywhere, and it kind of went from there to 11/11s and the 7/11s and 9/11s and 47. So there's a spoof, actually. They made a spoof of the movie 23 that's called The Number 47.
Really?
If you haven't seen that, check that out. Yeah.
I will.
So, and of course, 47 is a multiple of the 11th hour, as I show in my video. So, 48 hours minus 1 hour is what time? 11. Same with 23. The 23rd hour is the last hour before the 24th hour.
That's right.
So,
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. But I think the book that I made it in 3 different versions. So the first version is just black and white text with no pictures, and the second version, and that costs $1 and a penny, 11. And then the second ebook I made is $7.11, and that's with full color pictures, but the text is all black and white. And then the full color version is actually $9.11, and that is full color pictures and color coded text. And that is also available in an actual physical printed book that you can order on Amazon too. It's priced at $34.95, but when you consider it's 180 pages full color, and half the book is pictures and the other half is text, I try to do a balance, because I believe the visuals are so important. Pictures.
So I just want to make sure everybody hears that. The $35 version is paperback with the color print and the color photos.
Yes, full color everything.
I'm going to pick up that version. I want to support you, and I know you'll have done a good job. And I hear you. The visuals standing out, that'll make a difference. So I'm going to put some extra money into that one. That's the copy I'm going to get.
Yeah, there's $11 copy, $11 cents, and that's just the printed copy. That's the actual physical book too, but it's just the cover and it's just black and white text. But Amazon, of course, they have to add on a bunch of money. Wish I could have brought it cheaper, but that's the best I can do for now.
No, those prices are fair. I mean, I think that's completely reasonable. So.
No, thank you. And when is your book coming out, by the way?
Well, I don't have my release date yet, because I have been really horrible to hit all of my deadlines. And I told everybody I'm going to come with the announcement on June 25th. So I will be having an announcement soon, but I'm going to be burning the midnight oil to finish by then. So what's funny is my book also starts with The Wizard of Oz. I think The Wizard of Oz is such a fundamental story to understand what's really going on in this world. What a lot of people don't know about the book version, the original book, The Wizard of Oz, is Dorothy doesn't wear red slippers. She wears silver slippers and walks the gold road, because it's a clear reference to banking and the fact that we're ruled over by banker tyrants, and all we need as people is our brains, heart, and courage to confront the problem, to change our predicament. And
I actually cover that in my book. Yeah, I actually go through and explain why they're silver shoes and why they're red shoes and what it all actually represents from the symbolism of shoes themselves. And if you watch my series that I did on, why the red shoes, I think it was 3 videos long. But
hey, Chris, we're going to commercial. We'll be right back. Can you stay with us over the break?
Certainly.
Yeah, we'll be right back, everybody.
Thank you.
KRTFR.
My faith in destiny is all I need to prevail.
Truth Frequency Radio.
We're back, Truth Seekers. We got Christopher Lord with us. He just published his first book today, Behind the Emerald Door. You can pick it up on Amazon.com. He has ebook versions, paperback versions. We're talking about it now. Christopher, are you still with us?
I'm certainly here. Yes.
All right.
Aloha, everybody, and welcome back.
Exactly. Well, welcome back, everyone. I just want to let everyone know, I just went and purchased my copy right now, so my order's on the way. I have to be a Prime member, so I should have it in 2 days. I'm looking forward to it.
But I tried ordering it in time and getting it here today, but couldn't get it fast enough to Hawaii. So, but mine's on the way too. I ordered some.
Cool.
So you were talking about the silver shoes and the money system of, that's what I was talking about, how some previous videos came out about Oz and stuff and the money system, how it's a story of that. And I kind of take it a little deeper and and agree with of course with much of that, but also kind of taking it a little bit deeper of the silver and the gold and taking it back to deeper roots and the symbolism that's there. So I also wanted to point out too that the reason I was talking about 9/11 and stuff too, and what it has to do with the book, believe it or not, The Wizard of Oz began filming on November 11th. Huh. So that's the 11/11, but also the L even, but it's also the 9/11 because, of course, the etymology of the word novum is 9. So when you say November 11th, you're really saying 9/11. That's what the truth of the esoteric, knowledge and wisdom is behind that. And September 11th, of course, is really saying 7/11. We know it as 9/11, so it's all kind of correlated together.
Absolutely, and that's why I'm looking forward to your book, because you really are brilliant, and you really put things together nicely, and you make what is difficult to explain very clear. So,
well, thank you. I try my best. I guess that's kind of how I need to understand things, and nothing was really too much out there of explaining it correctly. So I kind of had to, take 10 years of my life to really grasp and break it down, the Illuminati symbolism and everything around us. And, once you get to that level of understanding, then it becomes clear. You have eyes to see with, you're no longer, wide-eyed with your eyes shut.
Right. I got to ask you, was there a single event, or was it more of a collection, a life experience that led you to pursuing this path?
Definitely September 11th, without question. On the day it happened, I was just like every other sheep out there. I wanted to buy a flag, and I wanted to go sit in the corner and fly it high and, kill those terrorists, until, it was actually my younger brother, believe it or not, who was visiting me in Hawaii, and he said something about the Illuminati. I said, who? What? I said, what you talking about, Willis?
Right.
I'm watching way too much TV, man. What are you talking about? So I went to go prove him wrong, and the next thing I know is that I found out that I was the one that was wrong. I knew absolutely nothing about all this, and that's my research began then, and I've been falling down that rabbit hole ever since until I reached the bottom of it and solved it.
That's actually really cool to hear. I mean, see, that's the difference in you and a lot of people. There's a lot of people who, when they're proven wrong, they just won't admit it, and then they'll just be quiet about it and stay away from it. But
yeah, in my worst, people think they, try to disprove me or whatever. When I'm doing my research, I'm my worst advocate. I'm sitting there trying to prove myself wrong. I'm trying to, think of every single reason why this is not true. How could, can this be proven wrong? Is it not real? Is it not, am I not right? So.
That's the way you got to be. That's the fair way to research.
Yeah, definitely. Without question.
And for another parallel between us, when I first started this research, everybody was telling me I was wrong and that it was lunacy and it was idiotic and I need to be on meds and I'd lost my mind. Maybe I had become schizophrenic. And I just maintained, well, wait a minute, people. Like you, the source of my investigating was 9/11 too. That was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. And I just always knew from that day, I mean, national emergency on 911, obviously these numbers are important to somebody, but who? And that was the question I began with. So
that's what's funny. I mean, people, are just so blind and they take, like I said, they take more time taking a crap than they do researching.
Absolutely.
I mean, to honestly believe that a man from a cave is like this, the world's smartest man, genius, who happens to know that in 1609 on September 11th, Manhattan was discovered, and the World Trade Centers are the 11. There are 110 stories and 11, and 11th state, and the Statue of Liberty stands on top of 11-pointed star, and and all this esoteric alchemy, that is inside of the Bible on September 11th, and it's just amazing that people think that some man from a cave is a genius and he just knew all this and that's why he chose that day. And he was around and built everything. I mean, it's just crazy.
And to stay on topic, his name Osama bin Laden even has the Gematria 47.
Yes. Yep. That's in the 47 video. Yep.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing. The whole psychological, what do you want to call it, brainwashing that 9/11 has been going on before 9/11 to all of us, and we didn't realize it, until 9/11 happened, which brought it to the forefront, and then the ones that are aware, realized what it really means, and the rest of the herd that doesn't understand, is still lost and does not understand the symbolism of 9/11, what happened that day. What it means and how it correlates to the Bible and to all the movies you watch, and why there's an orphan in every single Hollywood movie you see that falls down the rabbit hole, just as Jesus went down the rabbit hole into the underworld. It's just amazing to watch other people's videos. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth, and that is also I decode that in the book as well. So there's a lot of decoding that I do in the world around us inside of that book that's, told from the story of the Wizard of Oz, but like I said, I go in all different areas, from JFK to the Beatles to Sharon Tate. I tried to stay on the subject through the whole book, and I could have got off on tangents and written 50 books, but I really tried to stay on topic and try to keep things to the point. And although I touched on a lot of different subjects, I really try to stick to the point. And it was the only way that I could actually get the excuse me.
That's okay.
The video done, or the book done, was to just keep going on, because it's so easy to get sidetracked. And when you have that much knowledge and wisdom, you can literally spend an hour just talking about one thing, or write a whole book on just the one subject. But I was really trying to get a Truthiracy book that really kind of covered many, many subjects, that answered many, many unknown questions, and solved and decoded so many things out there that, nobody knows. So I really hope that, people pick up the book and they enjoy it, and hopefully it brings some insights to people to understand and grasp the world and the matrix around us.
Absolutely. And just from knowing what your work's about, anyone who picks up your book, those things are definitely going to happen, because you're masterful in the way you connect the dots.
Thank you. Appreciate that, man.
So what's your brother think?
Oh, yeah, he's laughed ever since. Yeah, he I just talked to him the other day. He's happy the book's coming out. But yeah, he when he first told me that, like I said, I laughed, and then I went and proved him wrong, and I ended up having to go to him and say, "Damn, dude, you're right. I was wrong." Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always the first one to admit when I'm wrong. That's why, my thing says, please try and prove me wrong. It's because through being wrong is how we find the answer.
That's right. That's right. Being wrong is the best way to learn, or it can be.
And also, I'm going to be, part of the whole psyops of the flat Earth thing, of course, the knowledge of knowledge. That's what it's all about. It's amazing, because the people that do the research, the people that have a brain and that use it, actually get smarter by doing the experiments and realizing that there's absolutely nothing naturally flat in our world whatsoever. Only man-made things are flat. Like the hat you get when you graduate from the 12, flat head, money's flat, computer screens are flat. I mean, everything's flat that's man-made, but you cannot find one thing in nature that's truly flat. Everything is spherical. And that's why they're talking about gravity and the apple and all that. Newton's. It's all just a psyops of knowledge, because there is no ledge. Sure, when you look out over there, I live in Hawaii, so when you look out, there's a drop off. There's a ledge out there on the water. It looks like it's a waterfall, And so the ancients would sail over there, and they realized that there's no ledge over here. It looks like there's a ledge. Looks like the Earth drops off right here, but it's not. It doesn't happen. That mirage keeps going the same distance away, and that's because the Earth is curved. And if it wasn't curved and it wasn't a spherical ball, then we would see for freaking ever, and I could see to California from Hawaii, et cetera, et cetera. And for people to say that's the horizon, the Horus raw eyes of Zion that's cut right there, the line that's cut, our eyesight doesn't drop off. People go, well, can we see that far? Could you see to California? I don't know. Can you see the moon? Can you see the stars that are millions and millions of billions of light years away? Of course we can see forever. As long as there's light and it's clear, you can see forever. So yes, we can see further than 3 miles.
Right.
Where the line cuts off, it's ridiculous. But they use the ignorance of the people, the herd, against themselves. Oh, we're on a spinning ball, spinning 1,000 miles an hour. Yeah, we are spinning thousands of miles an hour, but do you realize that we're taking one revolution in 24 hours?
Right.
I mean, get a basketball and spin that basketball in front of you one time, one revolution in 24 hours. You'll fall asleep 15 minutes later. I mean, you can't spin it that slow. Now, when you spin a ball that slow, does it create any inertia? No. People are picturing a spinning wheel going 1,000 miles per hour, revolutions per second, and everybody's flying off. That's how dumb they are. They don't realize it's not doing that whatsoever. Just annoying things like that. It's funny.
Absolutely. What you're saying, I love the way how you put it with no ledge and knowledge, because that's exactly what is going on in this world. The powers that shouldn't be, as I call them, they make fun of us every day because they know that, our level of education and intelligence is not where it should be. And that's what I discovered as an 18-year-old on September 11th, because one of the big problems I had with what they were showing on the TV on repeat was the way the planes were melting into the buildings. And I was just saying, there's something wrong with this imagery. The physics of this are not right. Yeah. I mean, these wings shouldn't be able to just...
Yeah. You can prove it on an esoteric level beyond, and also a physical level. I mean, people don't realize as they're barbecuing, they have thin tin foil, and they're wrapping their corn on the cob on the grill, throwing it on the same kind of carbon fire that a jet fuel A is. Do you see your paper thin tin foil melting? Does that really thin metal grill you use, year after year, does it ever melt? No. Now imagine, huge iron and steel beams with the same fire. You could hold it underneath there for 10 years and it's not going to melt it. So you can disprove 9/11 on a physical level, let alone once you understand the esoteric level, then it's even deeper and it completely makes sense.
Right.
So the 7-11 buildings of 7 and the 2 1s. Solomon building, 47 stories.
There you go. And each floor is 47,000 square feet too.
Yep. Yep, I put that in the video and a few more of the 47s too that people don't realize how 470 government employees were killed, how Building 7 cost, was it 475 million, 47 again.
Nice, that's a new one for me.
Yeah, it's 741 stories high, or 147. Yeah, so there's quite a few there. Some new ones I put in. I'm sure there's a lot more that people will find out in the future too. So it's endless once you understand that. The codes the Illuminati loves to use in everything they do. The multiplications of numbers themselves and the repeating and the mirroring and all that. Right. Not important to a man in a cave, but definitely important to the same people who have used it for thousands of years.
Exactly. Exactly. And for all the people who don't get why someone such as yourself or myself would spend so much time exposing these occult rituals, it's just that. It's by understanding these practices that you can see who is truly responsible instead of being deceived by the media that wants to blame it on an Islamic extremist or, some religious fundamentalist. And it's not to say that those people aren't out there, but that's not who's responsible for your propaganda and the headlines on the daily.
Exactly. And, it's always a constant war of the mind of trying to divide us, conquer and divide us, the Hegelian dialectic of thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. They got the answer, they create the problem, and we fall for it every time. Like I was saying, it's a Plato's cave of ignorance. The dark shadows upon the wall of the Shad, who is the devil, the shadow, which is the no light, which is Noel, just like we have Noel during Christmas time, which is why we light the lights up. And of course, the word light itself is the L, ite.
Right.
So if you read your Bible, you understand that too. That is the or, the numerology of the 216, the 666, 36, and all that. And if you truly understand, like the Bible says, you'll have wisdom and you understand it, because it's all about enlightenment. And that's why the World Trade Center is all about the lights. That's why everything is built upon that. The Manhattan Hinge, the summer, the solstices, the equinoxes, goes on and on when you start discovering the relationship between nature, the sun and the moon and the stars, our government, our birthdays, the World Trade Center, everything. The Bible is all correlated. You have to have the eyes to see it, and once you do see it, then it's like, oh yeah, now I get it. Now it makes sense.
Right.
The judgment of the Bible, and people just don't understand the truth, of what it's about. The Bible is a story of nature, a story of the seasons, a story of the sun and the moon.
Right.
So and once you understand that, you can decode anything in the Bible. It's all an allegory, an allegory, and it's pretty well disguised. But once you have the golden key that opens all doors, you will understand, through the etymology, through the numbers, through the gematria, through the symbolism. Once you understand all that, they all are speaking very loudly and very clear, and they all mean specific things. But those that are stuck in Plato's cave, that are scared and frightened of the shadows upon the wall, the shadows of lies and deception, the truth is the light. And those that have not climbed out of Plato's cave are stuck there. So you have the shadow of no light of Satan and the devil, which is the decline of winter and summer, or of winter and nighttime, versus the summer light and the light of the day. So you have Shad, the one-breasted one, and then you have El Shaddai, the God of light. So you have the dark aspect of God and the light aspect of God. That's all it is. People have been tricked and fooled to think there's some guy, floating around, sitting there trying to deceive people and all this kind of crazy. It's just mind-boggling that people actually believe it, And I see how, because I was one of them back in the day. I remember my first friend who said he didn't believe in God or something like that, or the Bible. And I turned around and looked at him like he was, the devil. I'm like, holy crap, the devil's got to you. Right. It's funny, the mind control works so well. But trying to expose that mind control to Satanists and to Christians is basically impossible. They're both fooled, not realizing they both have to believe in the Bible just to even be a Christian or a Satanist. And it's written by man, not God. And that's why it's not perfect.
So you and I, we speak with similar messages, we expose similar things, and we get a lot of the same type of criticism. There's so many people who become so immediately offended, and they refuse to consider the possibility that the Bible really is the Word of man, and that it really is an allegory for the seasons and the sun.
Yeah.
Do you just accept that this is what it is and it's always going to be that way, or do you continue to work and strive to persuade these people to see the truth of the matter, if you will?
Well, I always offer the information, but I don't try to persuade or try to change anybody's mind or get into arguments with people per se. Unless they come to me, then I'll defend, but I'm not out looking for a fight. I don't go to my local churches down here and go school the preacher and make him look stupid. I don't do that. I don't believe that would be the way to do it anyway. I think, just education is the way to understand it. People just haven't taken the time, like I said, to even grasp the truth of the reality of it all. Why is there 450,000 churches in just the 50 states alone? There's a church on every corner. I mean, you get a map out of churches and you see all those little dots, and you zoom in, and those little dots turn into more little dots. I mean, they're literally everywhere. Why is it the number one printed book in the world? Billions of copies, and they print 1 billion copies a year. Free copy in your hotel room. Why are they, indoctrinating this to our children, to us, to society, to the networks, to the radios? That's on the radio shows. I mean, it's everywhere.
Absolutely.
And really, they're trying to get rid of it, and it's from the real God, and He's here to save us. And people don't understand that it was written by them. It's been used by them for thousands of years, and they perfected it. And
I agree.
And it works great, obviously.
It certainly does. And what you just said, there's so many people. I have a lot of people who listen to me who don't agree with me, and I'm sure they're cringing right now at what you just said, because they maintain the exact opposite stance that, the powers that shouldn't be, they're trying to constantly destroy the Bible. And I always think, where are these people coming from? I mean, do these people live in the same world as me? Because everywhere I've been growing up, I mean, the Bible's been crammed down my throat. And
oh yeah, yep.
And I mean, just look at the world. Religion.
The Bible's a great book too. I mean, really, it's a man-made. Everyone that takes time, as you are doing and I am doing, that takes time to write a book, there's always some great knowledge and wisdom in there. So I don't think that people shouldn't read the Bible. I think they should read the Bible. It's a great book. It's a great story. And once you understand, it's just that I feel sorry for people who read it and don't understand what it's saying.
Which is most people.
Which is most people, sadly. And it even says in there, go through the narrow gate, not the wide gate. My people are destroyed because they reject knowledge and wisdom. So it's even in there. Because the Bible is a great book. It has wonderful stories, horrific stories as well. It's got all from pedophilia to abusing women to, all the disgusting things in there too. So it's unfortunately not really a book for children as they try to make it seem, but really it's for adults. And there's a lot of coding in there and a lot of knowledge and wisdom that's in the Bible. But that does not mean whatsoever that it came from our real God who created all of us. Not even close, But it's a great book. And like I said, people that take time to write a book most of the time are there to pass on some wisdom and knowledge.
Right. And just a point I want to make to people who are listening. So many people will say to me, Zach, the mathematics of the Bible are so perfect that is definitive proof God wrote it. And what people need to understand is there are some of us who are very advanced at mathematics, brilliant minds, people who are infinitely times smarter than myself.
Oh, yeah. Blow us away.
Being good at mathematics is not proof that you are God. And it's not proof that God wrote the book. And these are the types of things people need to, they just need to expand as human beings. And it's just.
Well, it's kind of like the flat earthers, too. You prove them wrong on 29 of the 30 things. They're going to run to that one thing that still is not proven wrong or whatever. And they're going to go, they're going to run to the other things and try to hold on to what they can and grasp on to what they, the last leaf,
Absolutely.
The last sting falling off the cliff.
So we got about 1 minute before the commercial break. If you want to stay with us longer, you're welcome to stay as long as you want this evening, or if you have better things to do, please let me know. But
well, I'll tell you what, I'll let you get on with your show. I thank you for having me on. I've had a wonderful time talking with you, and I think we should do this again, Zach, for sure.
And hey, just so everyone knows, again, one more time, want to promote the book?
Sure. Behind the Emerald Door of Oz, my new ebook, and it's actually a printed book as well on Amazon Kindle. And no, you don't need a Kindle to watch it. You can watch it on your computer, your phone, whatever. So I hope everybody enjoys the book, and please give me your thoughts and your comments back on it. I appreciate it very much. And aloha to everybody. Thank you for listening, and Zach, I want to personally thank you very much for all of your support over time, and you're doing a great job, and I support you 100%, buddy.
I appreciate it, and great to have you on. Thank you for joining us. I hope everyone goes out and picks up your copy. If I get some more money, I'll buy a second one. So thanks again, friend.
Definitely. Zach, thanks for having me, and peace, love, and wisdom to everybody. Aloha.
All right. Thank you again. The music's coming on, Truth Seeker. We'll be right back. The call board's open. We'll be taking your calls.
You must unite what has been set asunder.
We are TFR, Truth Frequency Radio.
Condition orange. Situation Delta in effect. Please enter your agent number now, followed by the hash key.
We have to create culture. Don't watch TV. Don't read magazines. Don't even listen to NPR.
Time comes when silence is betrayal.
Think for yourself. Question authority.
This code has been compromised.